And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskar. Good to see everybody here once again for another episode of New Earth TV Live. So we are going to be doing a Earth meditation here very, very shortly. And we're also going to be doing some distance healing as well as group healing also. Then we'll be getting into some Q&A altogether. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and start off with some announcements. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards, a spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
And of course, private sessions, 3-question private email sessions, and Akashic Record sessions are also available. So again, I'm starting to book the Akashic Record sessions. There's really been a big explosion of people who want to get Akashic Record sessions going. This is exactly why I brought them back, because they're very, very popular. Even when I've been doing private sessions with people, they still ask about their Akasha. So this is why, again, I've done the Akashic Record sessions as a standalone. Now, if you do have a private session with me, we can still look into your Akasha as well, too. So that option is certainly available. But the Akashic Record sessions are specifically for that purpose. So again, all 3 sessions are online. You can also check out newearthteachings.com, as there's digital courses online also. So go ahead and check that out at newearthteachings.com. And this Sunday is the next Infinite Intelligence Report, so I'm looking forward to that. Last week, I unveiled the signposts, and that has been doing very, very well. So the signposts are going to be continuing as well, too. So this Sunday is the Infinite Intelligence Report, and then the next Sunday will be the signposts. And of course, all videos on this channel, on New Earth Teachings, is backed up on our Odyssey channel. So again, if you want to check out Odyssey and follow along there, you can. Odyssey.com/@newearthteachings. This link is also in the video description. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with today's broadcast. So again, if you guys do have some healing requests, you can go ahead and feel free to put them into the chat. We are going to be going right into distance healing after we finish today's Mass Earth meditation. So that's what we're going to be moving into now. So you may hear some meditation music in the background. I've been able to do a little bit of tweaking on OBS Studio here, so I can put some meditation music, nice, peaceful, relaxing meditation music in the background. So again, we're going to do some Earth meditation. So what I'm going to get you guys to do first is we're going to, together, do the heart rate variability breathing. We're going to do 10 breaths of HRV. Then we're going to get right into the meditation process. So get yourself nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable, making sure the body is free of any tension. And we're going to take 4 seconds of inner breath through the nose and 6 seconds of outward breath through the nose, through HRV. And I'll guide you through it. So breathing in through the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. And in, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And relax. And just be aware of how your body feels right now after doing the heart rate variability breathing. You may start to feel some tingling sensations. You may start to feel some warmth. This is all very natural. You may start to feel like your hands are getting warm, tingling in the spine, in the chest, in the face. All very natural signs of you moving into the parasympathetic nervous system, more specifically, the subtle state of being, the low idle state. Now just being aware of Mother Earth here, as you see on the graphic on the screen here. Just looking at your beautiful Mother Earth. And you're just going to be looking at her from this perspective as we all do a mass Earth meditation today. So if you like, feel free to close your eyes. And I want you just to feel yourself right now, just as awareness. That you are awareness, and that you are aware of the earth just as she appears here on the screen. And as awareness, I want you just to feel that peace, that pure perfection that you are as awareness. And I want you to just shine that light of awareness upon the earth, that you are surrendering to her completely. You are completely letting go of any tendencies, conflicts, traumas, regrets, problems that you have. You're just letting all of that go so that you can be the purity of your awareness here and now. And just feeling that invisible light of awareness just shining upon the earth. Through awareness is that infinite peace, that infinite happiness, that infinite perfection that you are. And just shine your light upon her. As you feel that peace, that love, that happiness, that perfection that you are simply shining that light of awareness upon the entire planet. And now just going deep and deep and deeper into the planet, upon the surface where you see all of humanity, where you see all creatures, large and small, where you see all vegetation, where you see all minerals, where you see all of the planetary kingdoms together as one. And that light of awareness is shining upon all that is there. It is shining upon humanity. It is shining upon the animal kingdom. It is shining upon all living creatures. It is shining upon all of the forests, all the vegetation on the earth. It is shining upon all of the oceans. It is shining upon all of the minerals, all of the elements of the earth, going deeper and deeper right into her core, right into her heart, shining this invisible ray of awareness, of purity, of peace, of love, of happiness, of perfection. And just be with the earth right now. As you are aware that you are shining that ray of light that is your awareness, just be with her here and now. just be with all of the creatures of the earth. The humans, the animals, the insects, everything. All living creatures upon the earth. Feel yourself as one with them. And just be with them now. The same goes with the vegetation, all the beautiful forests, jungles of the planet, all the vegetation that exists, shining your ray upon all of it, and just being with nature here and now. And the beautiful oceans of the earth, feeling the beautiful oceans that are one with you, shining your ray upon the oceans of the earth, and just being with the oceans here and now. The beautiful minerals of the earth, the mighty mountains, the rocks, the minerals that give the earth her beautiful, solid form. Shining your ray upon that, just being with the mineral kingdom, here and now. And feeling the elements of the earth, fire, air, water, earth, and of course, the ether. Feel your presence with all of these elements, shining your light upon all of the elements, being aware, being present, just being here with them, here and now. Bringing yourself back into your own state of self-awareness. You feel yourself zooming back out, where you can see the earth once again, just as you see her on the screen here and now. And just feel her heart. Feel her soul. Feel her spirit. Feel the supreme within her. Feel the divine within her. That she is the divine. That she is the supreme soul. That she is the supreme spirit. That she is Brahman. That she is God. That she is the self. Just realize this. Just know this. Do not intellectualize or articulate or analyze of any kind. Just be aware. This is who and what she is. Now shine that light of awareness back upon yourself. See your heart. See your soul, the eternal witness. See spirit, permanence. And realize that this is who and what you are. That you are the soul. That you are the heart. That you are spirit. That you are the divine. That you are the supreme soul, the supreme spirit. That you are Brahman. That you are God. That you are the self. And just know this. Just realize that you are. Don't bring the mind into it. Just know and just be. I am. Therefore, you realize that the earth and you are truly one. For there is only one that pervades all. There is only one that provides for all. There is only one from where life stems and for where life returns. And that is you. When all the veils are taken down, when your ignorance is completely receded, and you see yourself as you truly are, you will never suffer again. You will never struggle again. You will never hurt, nor will you ever harm, because you see all as you, for it is that. And let's take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And as you see the earth, so are you. As you see her heart, so are you. As you see her soul, so are you. As you see the Supreme Spirit, so are you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar. And thank you everybody for joining me for the Earth meditation today. Like I said, just keep giving that love to the Earth, because as you give love to her, so too shall it be brought upon you. Okay? It's just so very important that we see not just the Earth, but all life as us. Right? You are the Supreme. Right? You are God. You are the Self. Because everything truly is that which pervades from the One. And you are the One. You are the Divine. You are the Supreme Soul. You are the Supreme Spirit. You are God. You are Brahman. You are the Self. Please remember this. Please just realize it without having to get the mind involved. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on. Thank you everybody for joining me. And we're going to go into healing time now. So we're going to do some distance healing. So again, if you guys do have any requests for me, any personal requests, we're going to do a few personal requests. Then we're going to go into group healing afterwards. So if I don't get around to you personally today, don't worry, just join me for the group healing, as that too will assist you. All right, so let me just go into the chat here, and I'm just going to go up the chat list. Let me just go ahead and click on live chat. There we go. And then after we got about probably about half an hour, 40 minutes. then we'll get right into Q&A as well too. So when you guys have questions, again, that'll be coming around the 12 o'clock hour. All right, 12 p.m. Pacific anyways, from where I am in my neck of the woods. Okay. So just give me a moment here, guys, as I'm just looking at some questions here. Okay, this one here is from The Man Demands. Hey, Brad, I'm requesting a healing for my brother. My brother, Climus. Let me just get my glasses on, guys. One sec. Whenever I'm doing this, it's a reminder for me to put on my glasses. Okay, that's fair. I hardly wear these things. I only wear them when I need to, so I'm not a big fan of glasses myself. So anyways, The Man Demands saying, my brother Climus, I believe his name is, has a lower back spinal disc herniation caused by the excessive training and physical trauma. He's an ex-pro athlete, yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, that's quite common with quite a few ex-athletes, right? They just push themselves and push themselves. Now, I'm going to the gym myself, but I'm trying not to push myself. Sometimes I do, so I'm not one to talk. So with Climus, for The Man Demands, no problem. Yes. So basically, I'll be working with his higher self for this healing request. And so Man Demands, if you want to be in the background and send love to him as well too, you certainly can do that too. Okay, so I'm just going to be calling in Climus right now, just for his higher self to be present with me now. Okay, his higher self is now present. And so just working with his higher self right now, expanding the heart light, bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, expanding the hands as far and wide as they can go, permeating your spirit light, your heart light, throughout the vast cosmos. I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. All right, so I will now begin healing work with Climus. Okay, so we're just bringing that light back into himself now, back into Climus. God is making me better. God is making me better. God is making me better. Bringing the hands back into prayer position. And infinite love and blessings to Climus. He is pure, he is divine, he is perfection. Namaskar. Okay. So Climus just has a lot of aggravation there, of course, as he's an ex-pro athlete. He feels like he has a very competitive streak, a very competitive drive within himself. So now that he's gone through this particular injury, so Man Demands is basically what I'd like you to pass on to him in that sense. Now it's time to recover. Now it's time to recuperate. Now it's time to be soft, right? He needs to bring that softness into himself because we can do some work on him. But like I said, a lot of the core of his being is that competition, is that competitive drive, is that fire, right? So we want to just bring the fire down a little bit. We don't want to put it out, but we just want to bring the fire down a little bit because it's really his drive, his determination. It just feels like he has something for himself to prove, right? And that's what we need to kind of dim down with the flame a little bit, all right? He wants to welcome in recuperation, rejuvenation, regeneration. That's really the time for him right now. So I basically just focused on the entirety of his spine. That includes the herniated discs. His hips certainly need some work as well too. His nerves around the spine certainly needed some work as well too. There's a lot of tension there, just a lot of knots. Okay, so he just needs to just bring that fire down. Not to put it out, but just to bring it down, because he has that very intense competitive streak within himself. And as he brings that down and he enables more rejuvenation and recovery to come through, he is going to be able to get through that a lot more. Okay? So man to man, you can always let me know how he's doing over the next little while if you want. But just talk to your brother. Let him know that healing was done for him. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay. This one here is from Catherine. It's just above the man demands. So Catherine says, greetings, dear Brad. I'm requesting a healing for my thyroid. It's really out of balance, resulting with depression and major weight loss to 87 pounds. And I'm 5'2" in height. Okay, so we'll work on you, Catherine. And Ava, I know you have a request here too for healing. So Ava, thank you for the contribution. And I'll get to you next. All right. So again, I'll start off with Catherine here. And work with her first. Then I'll come into Ava. Okay, so Catherine, if you're here with me right now, just go ahead now and place your hands in prayer posture. We're going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. Just feeling the heart open right now and feeling the heart light coming out and just bringing that heart light in between the palms and just expanding your hands out nice and slowly. As you inhale, exhale, expanding that light, making it brighter and bigger so that it completely permeates the entire cosmos. As it permeates the entire cosmos, just bring your hands back slowly, and you can state the following affirmation. I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay, and we'll begin. Okay, so Catherine, just bringing that light back into yourself now, slowly. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. Putting your hands back into prayer posture, the center of the heart, feeling the light going back into the heart. And infinite love and blessings to you, Catherine. Thank you very much. You are divine, you are pure, you are perfection. Namaskar. Okay. So, Catherine, it's good to, like I said, if you're working with your thyroid as well, too, just wanting to balance out depression. So, again, what I would suggest you work with, too, is the release ball method. Okay, the release ball method or prana transmission technique or BCR technique. Okay, and really just working with that depression, clearing it out. We always want to ask ourselves, why do I feel depressed, right? I'm feeling depression, but why do I feel depressed? This is where we have to go into internal investigation, right? We're asking ourselves that, why do I feel depressed? What's coming up here? And as we meditate on that depression, answers are going to come to you, right? This is where we have a notebook, and this is where we start writing things out, like with release ball, right? So we look at the subject, okay, healing your depression, okay, finding out the emotions behind the depression, what you're feeling, okay. You may even look into the idea about why that depression is there. Maybe it's the idea of feeling that family doesn't understand me, or I just don't like the state of the world, whatever it may be, okay? And then we go into the intensity. How intense is it from a scale of 0 to 10, okay? 0 being that it's not intense at all, 10 being that it's very intense, okay? Then we get that scale, that intensity, put that all into the ball, and we surrender, 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 let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, until we're completely surrendered to it. Snap your fingers, releasing it. Everything from the ball is gone. Checking in with yourself. Does that problem still exist within me? No, it feels gone. Great. And within a matter of minutes, you're able to completely heal that depression completely. Okay. So I did some work with your thyroid. Okay, it's going to help. But again, the thyroid is basically in the shape it is because of your emotional states. Okay, primarily. So again, yes, we can get a little bit of sluggishness from the physical body, but primarily in that sense, it's been going through some heaviness because of your heavy emotions. All right. So work together with that. That will help you out tremendously. Okay. Thank you very much, Catherine. All right, we're going to move on to Ava here. Ava, thank you for your donation. So donation, I was going to call you donation for a second. Ava says, hello, Brad. Could I please request a healing request for my mom that's after hernia surgery? Yes, so we can work together with your mom. So I'll just refer to her as Ava's mom. So I just ask Ava's mom to be present here, her higher self to be present with me here now. Okay, she is here. And just working with her higher self now, placing the hands in prayer posture, feeling the heart light coming in between the palms, expanding it out, permeating all of the cosmos, representing love, trust, and faith. And again, stating the affirmation, I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. All right, and we will now begin healing upon Ava's mom. Okay, bringing all of that light now back into herself. God is making her better. God is making her better. God is making her better. Hands back in prayer posture. Love and appreciation to Ava's mom. She is pure. She is divine. She is perfection. Namaskar. Okay. So Ava was able to cut the cord in regards to problems with the hernia, right? So basically the after effects of surgery. So the pain sensation cord that was there, basically just cut that away. I was able to loosen it for her. Okay. So just giving that back to spirit, plugging in a brand new cord, and being a healing cord in that way. So I think her healing will be quite accelerated. So I think she's going to do very, very well. So Ava, let me know how she's doing. Feel free to keep in touch with me. Okay. You guys can always go to my website, newearthteachings.com. Go to the contact page. You can always drop me a message there. Okay. So let me know how she's doing after the next little while. That's another great healing technique that I recommend that is also free under the playlists on my YouTube channel is cord removal healing. Okay, it's another great one that you can work with. So guys, I got lots of healing techniques here for you, and they're all free. It's just a matter of putting them to good use. But like I said, I can never really create a technique that helps you to resolve your own problems, right? You have to be the investigator. I can't replace your ability to investigate. Your investigation has to be done through you. So like I said, if we feel depression, we have to know what the root is of that depression. What's its source? What's it's connecting to, right? If we're looking at depression, well, that's an emotional situation. It's linked to a trauma. Okay, it's linked to lack. and we want to discover what that is. So this is where we go into investigation, and we look back into our past. We can only heal what we recall. Okay, I'm going to remember to repeat that for you guys again here. If I was to underline it 100 times. We can only heal what we recall. Do not concern about trying to heal something that you do not have recollection of. Right? Just heal what you are able to recall within yourself. As you go through your timeline, start clearing away those things that you do recall. Because as you start clearing away the things that you do recall, over time, you're going to notice that these things that you did not recall, that's buried in your subconscious, is just going to come afloat, and it's going to come into your conscious awareness. Oh my God, I remember that situation when I was 10 years old. I completely forgot about that. Exactly. It's like a big, gigantic pile of laundry. We're just taking care of these big clothing sheets and everything on top of the laundry. And as we continue to clean off more of the top, more of the bottom is being revealed. And that's kind of the festering mildew of the clothing, right? But we want to clean everything up. So that's basically what happens. We have to get a lot of the stuff off the top first before we can really see what's festering at the bottom. Okay. So as we do that, we're again recollecting what we are aware of. We're clearing that out. And then things that we were not so much aware of because it was buried so deeply into the subconscious, what floats up. It's like watching all these rocks just move aside and this debris just coming up and just floating up at the surface of the ocean. Well, the surface of the ocean is your conscious self. The depths beneath the surface is your subconscious. Okay? So as we start clearing away a lot of the rubble, we start clearing away a lot of the clothing, we see what's at the bottom of the basket, we see the mildew, we see the nasty stuff, but now it's our turn to go ahead and clean that up. All right? So thank you, Ava. Blessings to yourself and to your mother as well. All right, let's go ahead and go down the list here a bit more. Yeah, this is a nice reminder here from Royce is the best trapper. Blessings, my friend. Blessing, my friends. A gentle reminder that who you are is infinite, formless, unchanging awareness. You are endless, infinite beingness. Do not search for it, if for you are that I am, I am, I am. Well said, man. I'm glad you're sharing it as well too. And that's a very important message, guys. So please remember that. Remember that everything that we go through with mind is really just superficial. Remember what I said, what's the position of the mind when it comes to the soul? Or Brad, you've said it's the bowels. Exactly. So again, the mind really is just our digestive system. It's the bowels, right? That's the only part of ourselves that really gets clogged because the upper forces, the higher forces above the mind don't get clogged because they do not exist in the mind. Love, life, the soul, the spirit, okay? They never get clogged. They are always in balance. They are always in harmony. It's the mind that gets congested, okay? So that's our indigestion. So we want to make sure we're doing our intestinal cleaning. We're cleaning it all out. That's what the mind really is, right? We're not discarding the mind, but we're certainly cleaning it out. Okay, here's one here from Simrit Singh. I'd like to request a healing of the left side of body from effects of a stroke. Okay, so thank you, Simrit. We will go ahead and do that now. If anybody else wants to offer healing to Simrit, we can do that too. All right, so Simrit, just go ahead and join me right here, right now. Okay, placing your hands in prayer posture. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Opening up the heart. Feel the heart blossoming like a flower. Letting all the light of the heart come in between the palms and just expanding it out. Okay, expand out that light. Let it pervade everything. Let it permeate the entire cosmos. This is your love, your trust, your faith. Okay, slowly bringing the hands back in. I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. Okay, Simrit, so go ahead now and just bringing your hands slowly back in, retracting the light back into yourself, saying, God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. Bringing the hands back into prayer posture. Feeling the light returning back into the heart. You are divine, you are pure, you are perfection. Infinite love and blessings to you. Namaskar. Okay. So Simrit, you've basically been favoring a particular hemisphere of the brain for quite some time. Okay. So this is the idea in that sense that there needs to be a lot more softness and gentleness and more compassion expressed through you. Okay. Feels like you've been a little bit rigid, right? Feels like there's been a lot of hardness and intensity that you have been going through, right? Just thinking way too much with the head and not enough with the heart. And again, a stroke is just kind of an effect that takes place because of what we've been neglecting. And again, if we're able to successfully recover from that stroke, it's because we're bringing the gentle and the soft into ourselves. There is time for where we need to be kind of stern and strong, right, and intense, but there's also the other side, right? We want to make sure we're balancing that as well too. So again, when we notice that we've been feeling some problems with the left side of the body, right, that's hemispheric, okay, and that's again attempting just to bring in more of the soft gentleness and compassion, right, givingness to yourself and to others, which is very important. Okay, so blessings to you. Thank you very much, and be well. Okay, let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, this one here is from Marcia White. Marcia says, hello Brad, I have metal plates in my face. Is this affecting me opening up my third eye or preventing me from connecting with my higher source? It's not that they're preventing, okay? Nothing really can prevent you from going to spirit. You are spirit. Again, this is the idea of how dumb the mind is, guys. We are often told and thinking that, oh my God, if I have a metal plate in my body or if I have some metals in my body, I can't connect to my source. What are you talking about? You are source. You're not the mind. Okay? You are always spirit. You will always be spirit. You will always be source. You will always be God. You will always be the divine. You can't avoid that. I don't care if your entire body is made out of metal, right? That's not the idea, right? You got to get this mentality out of the way, because that is the very mentality that's actually causing you problems, Marcia, okay? So with getting into this idea of thinking that your third eye is blocked because I have metal plates, nonsense, okay? It can disrupt certain things, yes, but that's not going to cause a permanent blockage. And it's the same with everybody else, right? Oh my God, Brad, I got fillings. I got tooth fillings. I got metal tooth fillings. Is that going to block my connection to source? No, don't be ridiculous. Okay? You are source. Right? I got all these other metal things. I got a metal hip. Right? I got a hip replacement. I got all these things. Is that going to block myself from source? You are source. You are spirit. Human is what you truly are not. The mind is what you truly are not. It's an illusion. It's a hypnotic, trance-inducing program that is fueled by ignorance. So, when we get all of that out of the way, like I said, I don't care if your entire body is made out of metal. You are still spirit. You will always be spirit because you are spirit, okay? So I want you guys to really realize that, because I get so many requests about that. Oh my God, Brad, I got tooth fillings with mercury and metal and that stuff. Is that going to prevent me from connecting to source and connecting to spirit? Or I got this hip replacement, or I have this shoulder problem. I got plates here, etc., etc. And we just get so worried about these material things. Why do you guys think that the material is going to overshadow spirit? Why do you think that? Can you explain that to me? How material is going to block you from spirit? It's not going to happen, okay? It may affect your vitality in certain ways, but it's not going to block you from the spirit that you are. Come on, guys. Really? So if you see somebody like that, just say, don't be ridiculous, man. Come on. You are spirit. And nothing material that comes from spirit can block spirit. Do you see how ridiculous that is? That's like me creating a clay figurine, and all of a sudden this clay figurine just comes to life and starts grabbing me by the hair and says, "Oh, I'm your boss now, and you're my slave." See how ridiculous that is? This is just as ridiculous. If you think materialism is going to prevent you from connecting to your source, you got to clear that out of you. Okay? That is a dangerous and unsettling and very unhealthy belief. Okay? So, Marcia, no. It is not preventing you from opening yourself up to source. Okay? When you guys are thinking about third eye, so many of you guys get confused about the third eye as well too. Right? Thinking that, oh my God, if I have this plate here, if I have this piece of metal, and I'm not going to be able to connect with the third eye. No, guys, your third eye, your Anya chakra is always active. It's always there. Okay? It's your ignorance that blocks all of these things, that is giving you the illusion. It's you erecting a brick wall around yourself because of ignorance. When that brick wall is taken down, I don't care how much metal you got in your body, everything shines. Okay? Your eye shines, yes, your heart shines, your body shines, your mind shines, your soul shines, awareness shines. There's nothing that could ever prevent that from happening other than your own ignorance. Okay? Ignorance has to go. So, Marcia, that's what I can share with you about that. So I'm not too sure if that was a healing request. I think that was just a basic question. Because you weren't really asking for a healing, but that question caught my eye, so I thought I would share that with you. Okay? So thank you, Marcia. All right. Okay, this one here is from Debbie888. Debbie says, healing, please. May I please have a healing? I have COVID, and also through my back out. Guys, there's no such virus called COVID. Okay? No such thing. The vaccine is COVID. Okay? There's no virus called COVID. Okay, you got to get that out of you. Could be influenza, could be pneumonia, could be bronchitis, could be a common cough. There's no such thing as a COVID virus. The vaccine is the COVID. Okay? So please get that. Great. I get that. People saying that to me a lot. Bro, I have COVID. You don't have COVID, man. Have you ever taken a vaccination? No, then you don't have COVID. There is no COVID. Okay? It's not a virus. All right? So again, it's just something else that we commonly have been dealing with for, even before the beginnings of mankind here. Okay? We will clear that out because a lot of the idea of this illness comes from your own emotional and mental tendencies and bodily neglect. Okay? So Debbie, yes, we will go ahead and clear that out with whatever it is that you may be experiencing, but it certainly is not COVID. Okay? So anyways, Debbie, just go ahead and join me now, placing your hands together in prayer posture, putting it to the center of the chest, taking a deep breath in and out. And now just expanding the hands out. As you breathe in, breathe out. Expanding the heart light, making that as vast as the cosmos itself. Bringing the hands back. As they come back, repeating the affirmation, I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay? Let's begin. Okay, Debbie, just reaching your hands out now, bringing all of that light back in. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. Okay, putting all that back into the heart. Feeling that love returning back into the heart, that light. Okay, you are divine. You are pure. You are perfection. Infinite love and blessings to you, Debbie. Namaskar. Okay. So like I said, basically what I feel is just that there's been some lung trouble. Okay. There's also been quite a bit of atrophy growing in between the surrounding organs. Okay. So around the heart, around the liver, around the stomach as well too. Take good care of your stomach. Okay. Making sure that you're feeding it well. Making sure you're cleaning it out quite well as well too. Okay. You can look into getting the supplement betaine hydrochloride. Okay, that's Betaine, betaine hydrochloride. Okay, that really helps with the stomach acids of the stomach as well. Okay, and just making sure you're putting in some clean, like I said, mineral drops, trace mineral drops. Very, very good as well too, right? That helps with the blood, that helps with the stomach, that helps with the liver, that helps with really just bringing vitality back into the body. So get some trace mineral drops as well too. You may also want to look into iodine drops also. Okay? But do some liver detoxification, cleaning out the liver. So as the medical medium suggests quite a bit, celery juice, that is also very, very good. You may also want to do some colon cleansing at the same time. Okay, so just a lot of flushing. Got to get a lot of that debris out. It's way too much gunk in the body that's making you sick. Okay, and your emotions and mentalities are adding to that. So we got to flush out a lot of that stuff. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff you can take. I don't need to give you guys a whole big grocery list here. Just look at things, like I said, betaine hydrochloride, iodine, trace mineral drops. This helps. The celery juice is also very, very good. Colon cleansing. Okay. Thank you very much, Debbie. Okay, so this one here is from Boomy V. So we're going to do two more. Actually, no, I'm going to do Boomy, and then the next one we'll be doing is the group healing, guys. So this will be the last personal healing request. Then we'll go to group healing. So Boomy says, "Good morning. I would like to request for a healing for my father, Vishwanath, please." Okay, so we'll work with Vishwanath. I'll work with his higher self. And Boomy, if you want to help out in the background, send love to him, you certainly can. Okay, so I'm just connecting with Vishwanath now, connecting to his higher self. He is present with me. Very good. Okay, hands upon the center of the chest in prayer. Expanding the heart out, expanding the light out. I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay, let's begin. Bringing that light back in now. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. Bringing the hands back into the heart. With love and appreciation, you are perfection. You are pure. You are divine. Namaskar. Okay, thank you very much, Boomy, for your request. And your father will be feeling a lot better. A lot of just old stuff. A lot of old debris contained within. A lot of regrets. A lot of old pain that he may not be aware of being flushed out of him. Okay, so talk to him as well too. Maybe introduce him to some of the free healing techniques I have here as well. All right, thank you very much. Okay, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and do a group healing session. Go ahead and take these off now. We're going to go ahead and do a group healing session right now. So for everybody who wants to join me, what I want you to do right now is just placing your hands upon the center of your chest. And I want you just to do a scan of your body, right? So just starting off at the top of your head and just scanning all the way down. And I want you just to be aware of something that you feel that's really big that you are now ready to let go of. So whatever that may be, it's like you're putting it inside this soap bubble. Okay? And whatever that debris is, it's just containing itself inside that little soap bubble. Okay? And you're just extracting it from yourself, and you're just putting it directly in front of your vision. Okay, so make sure you're just scanning the entire body, and you're just aware of that big thing, I should say, that you're putting inside a little soap bubble, and you're just having it directly in front of you. Okay, so again, I'm just going to place a spirit ball around everybody who joins me, and as we go through the healing, you may feel like there is debris being excreted from your body, kind of like a black mist. Okay, if that happens, just be aware of it, that's all. Let it happen. That's all part of the healing that's going to take place. And again, if you want to dedicate this healing to somebody else who you know, you'll have the opportunity to do that through an affirmation. Okay? So again, just get yourselves nice and comfortable. Make sure you've done the body scan. You find that thing that you want to let go of. Okay? Put it in the soap bubble. Excrete it from the body. Put it in the soap bubble and put it directly in front of your field of vision. Okay? And now we'll place our hands in prayer posture. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, opening up the heart, feeling the heart open up like a flower. Let the light of the heart come in between the palms and just expanding it out as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Making it brighter, making it bigger. Expanding your hands out as far as they can go. Making that light permeating the entire vast cosmos. And just bringing those hands back now nice and slowly. Saying, I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay. Hands back in prayer posture now. Or you can rest them on your lap, whichever you prefer. Okay, and you're feeling that spirit ball now, just being placed around you. Make sure you have your issue that you want to clear away directly in front of you too. And just relax. And now for those of you who want to dedicate this to another person, you can say the following, because you're going to get it too, but you can also dedicate it to the person. So just say the following. I completely believe that the healing that so-and-so will receive will heal him or her. Okay? So you can say that now. I completely believe that the healing that this person shall receive will heal him or her. All right, let's now begin. And this is for everybody that's tuning in live. Even if you're watching this through a recording, you will also have this healing brought upon you. Okay, so I want you just to be aware of the ball that's directly in front of you. It has that debris in it. And just seeing the debris within it getting smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. And when it gets small to the point where you can barely even see it, just snap your fingers, releasing it completely, making sure that the ball is empty. And if you're feeling the excreting of the black mist throughout your body, it's kind of like looking at a squid squirt ink underwater, right? It's kind of like that appearance. So if you see that black mist, then again, just be aware of it. And again, as you're aware of it, you're seeing it getting smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. And when it gets small to the point where you can barely see it, snap your fingers, release that as well too. Okay, bringing all of that light back into yourself now. As you're bringing the light back into yourself, towards your heart, just saying, God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. Placing the hands back into the center of the chest. Seeing that light come back into the heart. Infinite love and blessings to you all. You are divine. You are pure. You are perfection. Namaskar. Okay. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And relax. Okay. Now just be aware of how you feel from when just before you started to where you are right now. How are you feeling? Okay. You can feel free to share that in the chat if you like. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me for the healing today. So we're going to take the last hour here for questions. So if you guys do have any questions that you want to share, feel free to put that in the chat. And while I'm waiting for that, I think I'm just going to take a quick washroom break. So I've been drinking a lot of water this morning. So just give me a moment. I'll take a quick restroom break, and we'll come back and we'll do Q&A. All right, 1 second. Okay, so thank you for your patience, everybody. Just what happens when you drink lots of water. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with some great Q&A today. So again, guys, if you want to ever offer donations, that again puts your head in line. So if you have a big question and you want to leave a little donation, that's great as well too. That will make your question priority. It's the same thing with healing as well too. So that's always an option, but I try to get to as many people as I can within the hour. Okay, this is from RG. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for the healing. Blessings to you. All right. All right, Lena says, my neck feels better. Yeah, I guess so. Master says, a bathroom break for everybody. There you go. Yep, go and purge. Definitely. All right. Okay. So I'm just going through the list here, guys. Just give me a moment. Let me see here. So I'm just going through some healing requests here. I'm just going down the list here nice and slowly. Hey, here's a question I haven't really ever gotten before. This one here is from Alan Rushlow. Alan says, Brad, can you talk about the jester archetype, benevolent and malevolent jesters? I've worn costumes of both and had some pretty wild experiences in both extremes. They're actually manifestations of the ego. That's really what they represent, right? So, and I know we probably don't want to hear that, but when we're looking at the jester, they're all about entertainment. They're all about trying to get a chuckle, right? There can be some benefit from it, of course, getting a chuckle, but the idea of the jester is just different degrees of the ego altogether. It's why in that sense they wear the outrageous, the loud kind of costumes in that particular way, because their intention is to try and invoke a reaction out of you, which is very much like what the ego is trying to do, right? So they're all just manifestations of the ego, even though they can be humorous, even though they can be entertaining, even though they can be good for a laugh, it still represents the idea that it's egoic in that way. This is again why kings and queens would bring in the jester to try and get entertained. They'd be completely bored out of their mind and just bring in the jester, watch him fall on his face, do some juggling in that sense. It's just all manifestations of distraction. What does distraction represent? The ego, right? So it's just an invention of ego from man, right? To entertain and to get some laughs going, because that person doesn't want to go inside themselves and start realizing who they are. They need some type of outward entertainment. Hence comes the gesture, the manifestation of ego. Okay? So like I said, maybe people don't want to hear that, but nonetheless, that's what I'm receiving. Okay? It's a very unique question, Alan. Thank you. That's one of the most unique questions I've ever had, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so just give me a moment here, guys. I'm just going to the list here. Okay, here's a question here from Lori. Lori says, they say that Putin has released the truth of Tataria. All the documents and evidence. Is this the truth finally being revealed to us? So for those of you who do not know what Tartaria represents, it's an ancient civilization. It doesn't just relate to Russia, though. Okay, India was also a part of Tartaria. Okay, a lot of the countries that surround Russia today was actually involved with Tartaria. Okay, Tartaria was very much it was kind of like another Atlantis. That would be the best way I could put it. It was something that involved a lot of the Vedic philosophies as well too, right? Looking into Vedas, looking into the non-dual philosophy as well too, looking into, again, ancient technology, ancient civilizations. It was a very, very peaceful civilization as well too. There's a lot to Tartaria that we're not being told. A lot of people have come to me recently, Brad, can you talk about Tartaria? Can you talk about Tartaria? As it comes, I only have bits and pieces myself, just in regards to what Spirit presents to me. But it was very much an Atlantis at the time as well too, because they too had anti-gravitational technology. They too were also able to create structures similar to like Angkor Wat. They were also able to create geometrical structures to harness energy, right? A lot of the ancient civilizations have done that. They would build structures that would harness energy, and they would also work together with crystals. They would work together with this ancient power system, and that would provide lighting, that would provide heat, that would provide healing, right? The Tartarian civilization was very much aware of this as well too. And Tartarian goes back many, many, many thousands of years. It wouldn't surprise me if they're about as old as Atlantis was, right? So they have a lot of ancient history to them. And that's what we could refer to as basically ancient Russia, but it's not just appealing to the Russians. It's basically the whole idea that the entire Eastern world basically represented the Tartarian civilization and was in existence even around the times of Atlantis as well too. So it was a very, very interesting time. But let's go into the question here. Is it true that Putin has released the truth of Tartaria? All documents and evidence is this truth that's finally being revealed to us. So let's take a look. Guess it depends where you look, really, because that's one of the last things they actually want to have released right now, but we'll see here. Not just yet. Okay, I know a lot of people are interested in the Tartarian civilization, but that's not something that's looking to be revealed for a little while now. Okay, so things are shifting. There certainly is documentation. There is a lot of even ancient texts that may be in the possession of some of these old vaults that may be in specific areas of Russia. Okay, where a lot of that has actually been preserved. It could be ancient scrolls, it could be stone tablets, so forth. But there certainly is a lot of ancient information, but there needs to be more movement forward. There needs to be a little bit more shifting in our collective before we can actually reveal something like that. It's the same thing with Atlantis, guys, right? If we're going to see Tartaria get revealed, then you might as well see Atlantis get revealed. You might as well see Mu get revealed. You might as well see Lemuria get revealed, right? You may as well see a lot of these ancient civilizations that, again, have lived very similarly to the Tartarian civilization get revealed, okay? So right now, it certainly is in their possession, okay? The counter forces do have possession of these documents. They do have possession of these ancient texts, okay? So there's no doubt about that. But being able to get it out, well, that's a bit of a waiting game, okay? There's a bit of a waiting game. We have to kind of let the waters smooth at a particular point to where something like this could be revealed. There's no exact time frame about when that would happen, Because if you're releasing Tartarian civilization information, you might as well be talking about Atlantis. You might as well be talking about Antarctica, about what Antarctica has there as well too. So I feel that this will happen at some point. I don't feel it's really soon. I think it's still going to kind of wait itself out because there's other things that are in line. It's kind of like looking at a waiting queue here, right? You got other people in line, you got other things in line, and they have to debut themselves first. And as we start getting a lot of those things out of the way, then again, the queue moves up and we can see something like this. We're probably going to be seeing off-world disclosure here pretty soon as well too. That's in line at the same time. So there's a lot of things that are in line right now, and they're just handling things. Everything's being handled appropriately as it needs to balance out the collective. Okay, I know a lot of us get ambitious and get really antsy for wanting a lot of this stuff up. Guys, with all due respect, it's not your call. It's not up to you. This isn't your world. Okay, it's the collective operating itself. Everything is being balanced by the Supreme here, by the unseen forces. It's up to them. It's up to the One, I would say. Okay, so there certainly are guardians. There certainly are custodians. I've talked about that. I think it was the previous week as well too, where I was talking about that. And they are all about balancing things out. And they are the ones that are basically putting out the call when these things get debuted. So guys, unfortunately, it's not up to you. It's not up to anybody else who's telling you this information. It's all about the flow of the collective and what can be shared at appropriate times. Because everything on this planet is guided and handled and basically handled through custodians behind the scenes. Okay, and it's really up to that. It's not up to me. It's not up to anybody else, but to the unseen forces. Okay, but yes, there certainly are documents. There certainly is ancient texts. They have that. Same thing with Atlantis. They got all kinds of proof from Atlantis. They got vaults of ancient Atlantean technology. They got ancient scrolls. They got ancient texts. They got all these different things from Atlantis as well too. They got all this footage of Antarctica, right? Pyramids under the ice, right? Temples under the ice, extraterrestrial bodies laying everywhere. Okay, that's all over Antarctica. So there's a lot of things that need to be exposed. It's just a matter of timing. Okay, not time, but timing. All right. So Laurie, thank you again for your question. Okay, let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, this one here is from Anelli. Anelli says, question, what will be the next big step for Sweden, positive or negative? All right, well, we have talked about Sweden a week ago, but let's take a look into Sweden right now. Glad I got a lot of Swedish viewers. Thank you for being here. All right, let's take a look at Sweden. What is the next step for Sweden? How's Sweden doing? What's ahead for them? Okay, well, you guys are about to move into endings here. Okay, so here's the Page of Pentacles, right? So this is representing the past, signifying the past. So it looks like things have actually started to brighten up a lot more behind the scenes. If it hasn't been in front of the scenes, then it's definitely been behind the scenes, right? So we're about to see the new roll out for Sweden. It's like I said, people just need to keep standing up and really and talking and sharing, being in their soul tribes and talking to each other. I get people say, yeah, but brother, I don't want to be in a soul tribe. Well, I'm not really talking to you as the individual. I'm talking more so to the collective, relating to Sweden as well too. If a few of you don't want to go into soul tribes, well, that's your own thing, right? The whole idea in that sense is the majority, if they really want to make a difference, you go into your soul tribes. Okay? So right now, this is all about endings. Endings are about to happen. So looks like things are starting to spike up in a very positive way for Sweden. Okay, so this is the idea, and I think that there's going to be some very big changes taking place. Okay, so this may represent the idea of new leadership coming together, transitional government taking place here all together. Okay, this is again a counterforce card here and behind the scenes. So it looks like the counterforces behind the scenes are rearranging things for a very big debut to happen, and there may be an announcement here in the next couple of months of change of leadership, transitional government taking place, changing of policies, ending restrictions, all of that. A new authority is going to be debuting here in Sweden, And it probably wouldn't surprise me if we get close to that maybe around November, December, right, just before the end of the year. That's what it feels like right now, right? That's not written in stone, but that's the momentum ahead as I'm seeing it right now. Okay? So it looks like Sweden is moving ahead right now. So when I made that speech a week or two ago, it looks like things have been shifting since then. So it's great to see. Wonderful. Maybe I was tuning into people. I was talking to their souls, right, at the same level, because here we are a week later, and it's a major improvement from what I was seeing before. So that's great news. Thank you, Anneli, for your question. Okay, let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, this one here is from Grow. Grow asked the question, what do you see about the Norwegian king family? Do you remember what I was talking about with the idea of royal figures, Grow? Okay, there's no monarch that's in charge of the world anymore. Okay, none of that is available anymore. We can look into this, but it's just very much like what I was talking about on the signposts with the idea of royalty figures, right? When you're looking at royals and royalty figures, none of them run their property anymore, right? They're not lords anymore. They're nothing more than just puppets. That's the idea. So even whatever we look into the Norwegian family or the royals in that sense, you have to know they're not in charge of anything anymore, right? Counter forces are taking over. So let's take a look here at the Norwegian king family and what's happening with them. Yep, pretty much exactly what I was just saying. Okay, so the past is, I think we're seeing that there has been replacements with them, right? Either they've fallen in line, or there's been some doppelgangers coming in, and that they're basically taking the role of the Norwegian royals. Okay, so either the people there, they may be real. If they are real, it's because they've switched sides, and if they haven't switched sides, they've been replaced. Okay. So this is what's happening right now, is that there's reorientation happening. There's a balancing of the energies taking place. There's new partnerships converging. There's new convergences taking place behind the scenes. Okay, so this is a major cleanup. This card always represents a big summoning, a big cleanup, big change, big shifting, right? It's time to make the call. It's time to blow the whistle. It's time to get things together, right? So here we are with Judgment, and of course that too represents a 2. Right, so we're looking at, again, something coming together, a new partnership, a new alignment, a new alliance coming together as well. New royalty ideas. Like I said, it could be the same old people. Like I said, whether it's doppelgangers or the OGs, but nonetheless, there is new authority being taken Norway as well, too, pertaining to the royals. The whole idea right now, especially as we move into 2023, is there's going to be a very big movement to cleaning up the planet. That's going to be wonderful, right? We're going to look into the idea of new environment or new environmental technologies, wanting to clean up the planet, new financial changes that are going to take place, new leadership that is taking place, change in politics, everything under the sun that humanity has used in regards to its natural modern systems is being shaken up and changed, okay? So again, counter forces here in the near future. So we're going to be seeing some exposures coming. We're going to be seeing new transformations coming together here for the people of Norway, right? Because the Norwegian royals are, again, either replaced, or if they are still around, they're taking orders from higher-ups, okay? And those higher-ups are counter-forces, all right? So there you go, bro, for that. Like I said, guys, we're moving on up, okay? We're moving upwards here. So many people still think, oh, we're going to see Armageddon, we're going to see everything. Guys, we've been through that, okay? Here's a secret that I want to tell a lot of you. Now, I was actually telling this to a client not too long ago as well. Yeah, shift these cards first. There we go. So here's a secret, guys. It is a wonderful thing when you see really disheartening stories coming out into the public. It's a wonderful thing. Brad, how in God's name could that be wonderful? Because as that starts to debut in the public, you guys, just through your thoughts, have decided, nope, we don't want any kind of timeline like that. So if we look at Agenda 21, if we look at Agenda 30, okay, and we see what that's all about, the majority of people are looking at that and saying, nope, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. Just the thought alone completely cancels out that timeline. Did you guys know that? Just by the majority of people on this planet looking at a timeline and saying, I want nothing to do with that, nothing to do with that, nothing to do with that. And there's so many common thoughts like that saying, nope, not going to happen. We've canceled out a timeline just by thinking alone. Don't even need to commit any action. So everything that you have been seeing on the mainstream media and alternative streams that have tried to represent some type of tyranny, totalitarianism, harsh agenda, right, evil intentions, etc. That's the greatest thing that could ever be done when it is exposed to the public and the majority of the public sees that and they start putting their thoughts and saying, I want nothing to do with that. Nope, get that out of here. There's no way that's going to happen. Not going to happen, no way. Then we have completely abolished a timeline. That's how simple it is. Because when the collective majority is not looking to go behind that particular timeline, it's not going to ferment. It's not going to make it, right? You want nothing to do with that. I'm going to go with this instead. So anytime that you have seen any particular type of fear porn, right, or any other particular type of totalitarian-based story or anything of that nature, it's a blessing in disguise because it's being put through the collective consciousness to therefore being denied. It's like a stamp. Denied. And then we put it aside. That's exactly what's happening. Why do you think a lot of these things, especially in the past year, we had people casting doom and gloom everybody. Wasn't there a guy here a few weeks ago that said the rapture was supposed to happen? Has the rapture happened, guys? We're still here. Looks everything's fine to me. It doesn't look like there's hellfire and brimstone coming out of the earth or anything of that nature. Okay. Again, we have to thank these things because they're blessings in disguise, right? We look a year ago, and I've had so many people say, oh my God, these horrible things are going to happen. This horrible stuff's going to happen. This horrible stuff's going to happen. And here we are past the summer, and things are actually looking brighter. Things are looking better. The whole COVID thing is ready to completely fall apart. I've even heard that on September 30th, temporarily, that all the restrictions in Canada are going to be dropped. Okay, they're basically using this as a temporary measure, but I think it's going to go far beyond temporary measure. Apparently on September 30th, Canada is completely giving up all the restrictions. Right? It's just basically what I've heard. Why don't I look into that for the cards right now? Maybe we'll confirm that. I had a friend of mine who was just saying, yeah, it feels like on September 30th that Canada is dropping restrictions. They said it's a temporary measure. It's something that they're just doing temporarily. But like I said, I think it's going to be a lot longer than that. So let's take a look here. Is it true that on September 30th, Canada will be dropping the mandate restrictions? All right. So it certainly looks that way. Certainly looks like something is happening. But I think people who are still kind of programmed will get sad about that. Right? Really, people were really just love the idea that we can travel again. But people that are very much, drinking the Kool-Aid of the government, so to speak, may get sad about that. There may be some big event that's coming as well, too. That's kind of like a wrecking ball, and it's tearing down the entire mandate situation. So yeah, it feels like this is not going to be something that's temporary. It's going to feel like it's permanent. And again, the emotional waves will start to soothe and smooth themselves out. So it looks like what's happening for Canada here for September 30th is going to be taking place. So we'll just see how it continues to go, but that certainly is the plan as of right now. All right. So this is what I mean, is that we're going to see a lot more of these things coming together. And here we go, seeing this right after summer. Okay, like I said, it's a white hot summer. After the summer ends, we're going to see that white heat start to cool down, and we're going to see a lot of positive things coming together as we move into October, November, December, right up into January. Okay, that's where we're going. Now, you guys don't have to believe me or not if you won't want to. Okay, but all I suggest is that you just feel these things out with your heart. But I wanted to share that with you about timelines. Okay, that's how timelines get averted. We're doing it. All of us are doing it. We're saying no, thank you, and that's being taken out of the picture altogether. That's how powerful we are together. Okay. So that's exactly why a lot of these doom and gloom timelines that people have been trying to basically knock down my door and say, oh, Brad, we got this happening, what this happened, what this happens, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, we'll just see. Let's go in through the summer of 2022. And let's now come into the fall now, and let's see how we're doing. None of those have come to pass, okay, because of what we are doing as a collective. It's how powerful we are. And it's just through the nature of thought that we're making this happen, okay? Okay, here's a question here from Victoria Klink. Victoria says, when the stock markets go down, will the postal service and courts still be open? Okay, well, let's first of all take a look at, will the stock markets go down? Right, that's something we have to do, because that almost feels like you're drawing a conclusion here. We have to firstly see if they're going to go completely down, right? So let's take a look. What is the health of the stock markets? Are they going to go completely down? Okay, they're going to go through some shifts, but I don't think they're going to go completely down, okay? So it looks like the idea that the stock market is going to be reintegrated, okay? It looks like it's going to be overhauled. It looks like new systems are being put together for the stock market. But everything that represented the old stock market is certainly going to gradually fade itself out. I don't think it's going to lead to some big gigantic catastrophe where the stock market just suddenly plummets in one day, right? But there are certain integration processes that are happening. The way that the stock market has been run is going to fall. It looks like it's going to be under a new form of authority. So again, there's going to be some empowerment relating to the stock market that may represent compatibility with the new financial markets that are coming together. And it's moving ahead, right? So this is in fruition. It may start to move itself into that space within the next couple of months. Okay, so it looks like we're being set up for the idea of a new financial system that's going to be coming together, and it's going to work with the stock markets all together. So I don't see the stock markets completely going belly up, okay? They're certainly going to be reintegrated, and there's certainly going to be some shifts, and everything that the stock market once represented pertaining to any old form of cabal-based control is going to die out. But the idea of the stock market will still be around, okay? So as it's still around, I don't think you need to be concerned about postal service and courts, okay? Because it's not going to basically just be dead, floating out in the water like this, just bobbing like a cork and staying that way, okay? As it relates to the old control of it, yes, but it's being reintegrated. It's being overhauled. Okay? It's being shifted into something brand new. Okay? So again, this is why we need to look at firstly the first part to make sure the first part is relevant. If it's not relevant, then that completely dismisses the second part. All right? So thank you, Victoria, for your question. Okay, so just give me a moment here, guys. Just looking into the questions some more. Okay, so this one here is from Mihail. Mihail says, what is the momentum ahead between Russia and Ukraine? What's the Russia-Ukraine situation here right now? How are things going with that? Let's take a look. Looks completely finished to me. Looks like it's completely wrapped up. Okay. Now I guess the mainstream media will probably be saying something other than that. Okay. It's telling me here exactly what the mainstream media really isn't telling me. Looks like cleanup has already taken place. They've been able to already get the rats out of the old Ukraine that we could basically refer to as its previous name, Khazaria, right? So basically it's clearing out the Khazarian rats. It's basically what has already happened right now. It looks like things have already been, I would say it's pretty close to mission complete here. Okay, so there's the whole idea that I think Ukraine is going to be completely reintegrated, perhaps being a part of Russia, because like I said, Russia already owns the land of the Ukraine. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be some new leadership, there may be some new appointing, some new shifts taking place in reintegrating Ukraine altogether. But victory has already been achieved, so maybe they may announce it here in the next couple of months, right? But from what I can sense here from the cards, it's already done. It's already finished. Everything that needed to happen between Russia and the Ukraine has already taken place. It's like a mission complete feeling I'm getting here. If it's not fully mission complete, then it certainly will be here in the next few days. But it certainly does feel like a mission complete from what I'm looking at here. So yes, Ukraine is being completely cleaned up. It's just getting the old Khazarians out of there altogether, completely just nullifying everything that represented the old Khazaria, cutting all of the cords out of old Khazaria, and making Ukraine into something else, into something better. It's never been the idea about the civilians, right? It's been about the idea of the rats that have been under their feet, and that's what's being cleaned out. They've had biolabs there. They've had vaults with children in it. It's horrendous, right? So they went in there and they've cleaned a lot of stuff up. The underground of Ukraine/Khazaria was atrocious, and so they basically went in there and they started cleaning a lot of the stuff up. And it looks like they're all finished with cleanup now. Now it's a matter of integration, which is very much what 2023 represents. It's a year of reset. It's a year of reintegration. It's a year of introspection. It's a year of revaluation. Okay, so 2023 will certainly represent that. So we're certainly seeing there. Like I said, there may be a victory call here in the next couple of months, because I think they're just slowing things down. What they usually do with the mainstream media is they basically give them these stories of things that have already happened and making it look like that's what's happening right now when it's not. These things have already happened. These things have already been taken place. These things have already been done, but they're spinning it to make it feel like it's happening right now. When in fact, what I'm seeing between Russia and Ukraine, it's pretty much a wrap. It's pretty much done. Okay, they cleaned out the rats. So this is why the whole idea here of where we're going and what we're seeing unfold is actually going to be much more positive. We're going to see that in the next little while here. All right, so thank you for your question. Okay, here's one from Anita. Anita says, can you talk about light language, different types, star language, etc., and if they can help to heal or activate DNA? Well, that's exactly what they do. Okay, for you to try and translate, I wouldn't say star language, but light language itself. There's a difference between star language and light language. Okay, light language is very much like music. You can't really interpret through a vocal means what music is. If I was to go on the piano and start playing a song and I'm not saying anything, right? There's no words for that. It's feeling. Okay, so it's the feeling of the light language that's coming through you. It's like I said, this is why it's called light language. It's the language of light, and it often comes through the idea of song, right? It can come through the idea of chanting, it can come through the idea of mantras or something of that nature, but it's not coherent to give you an idea of what it feels like on a articulate level pertaining to contemporary language. When we're looking at light language in that sense, it doesn't even have to have sound. There's people who can simply transmit light language just by being here, just by doing this, by bringing forward a transmission. Okay, star languages are different, right? Those are different languages used by different beings. Now, many of the common beings in the galaxy basically have telepathic language. They will speak to you through color, they will speak to you through sound, they will speak to you through symbols. Okay, it's not the kind of language like we would look at English or French or Japanese or Sanskrit or anything like that. Sanskrit is actually quite good because Sanskrit is a very divine language. But again, it's a little bit different in regards to a lot of how the common galactic community communicates, right? It's through light, it's through sound, it's through symbol, okay? So when they're actually communicating with you on board spacecraft, you can feel like these entire conversations happening within seconds. Poof, poof, poof. Okay, I'm getting all this data. But because we're so used to linear language, right? A lot of the language in the galactic communities is not linear. It's completely non-linear. It's non-linear language. It's non-linear communication. It's like I said, you're getting about like 100 hours of conversation within an instant. Poof, right? But because we're not calibrated to that, we couldn't digest it. It would just make us feel like we're going crazy. So this is why, again, that they're very gentle with us. They're making sure that they're not going all the way and shining these frequencies of transmission coming into us. We just couldn't handle it, right? Our bodies aren't calibrated for that. That's still far too linear. So when the bodies become calibrated to a non-linear equivalent of language, you're basically just seeing these flashes of light like coming right out of the brow chakra, just like this. And you're getting like hundreds of hours of conversations, just ideas, just being pulsated directly into yourself. So it's a lot different. That's star language. But star language, very commonly, it's non-linear. I don't really know, even when I was channeling Adronis, I was not aware of any particular kind of linear language like what we use, right? If that is, it's still planetary civilizations that are still kind of in a primitive state, and they haven't really evolved themselves to being non-linear language. Okay, that's what's next for humanity. Humanity will eventually evolve into having non-linear language. Okay, and we can call that the star language, but light language is very, very different. Light language is like music, right? You just can't interpret it. You can feel it, right? Just when a person plays a wonderful song with us and we feel it within our hearts, we feel it within ourselves, and it feels wonderful. Okay, that's the example of light language. But when we're looking at star language, you could also refer to star language as non-linear language. Okay, just getting hundreds and hundreds of hours of ideas just being popped in. A person could show you their entire life within a matter of about 2 seconds, and now you have all their information, right? That's how powerful it is. This person who's lived 1,000 years puts that right into you, and now you're just, if we try to do that with our linear self, we just couldn't do it. We'd go crazy. We just, there's so much information, I feel like my head's going to burst, right? Because our bodies aren't calibrated for that. So there would have to be certain forms of genetic manipulation taking place that is actually unraveling a lot of the dense packed code into ourselves that would actually be freed up so that we can actually understand nonlinear language, because truly that's how we're wired. But because we have had so much genetic tinkering with us over many millennia, right, a lot of this coding has been densely packed and shut down. I wouldn't say shut down, but basically suppressed. Suppressed is the better word. Basically been suppressed. And so there would need to be some genetic tinkering of the human genome for them to be much more in alignment to nonlinear communication. If we were to go in a very natural course with that, that would probably take thousands of years. But the good news, I feel, is that there's going to be some intervention at some particular point. I can't say exactly when that will happen, to basically recalibrating humanity into being a nonlinear race. Okay, I don't have a date for that. I really couldn't even say when that would happen, but that's basically what I'm getting. There are plans for humanity when they start moving into the cosmos, where you will actually become a nonlinear civilization, where you'll actually just be able to just project your thoughts, project your intentions, right, into another. And now they're able to assimilate everything about you. And it's like there's no need for conversation after that. You already know the person, right? That's the beautiful thing. But anyways, that's the difference between light language and star language or nonlinear language. All right? Thank you very much. Okay, here's one here from Marwan. Marwan, I think your name is. Marwan says, is the monarchy in Saudi Arabia going to change? Remember what I said, guys. There's no more monarchies. Okay, they're all falling apart. They've already been infiltrated. This is exactly what's been happening for the past several years. Okay, a lot of monarchies are not that anymore. They do not run the show anymore. It's the counterforces. But let's take a look at Saudi Arabia and see what they're going through. Okay, so is the monarchy in Saudi Arabia going to change? So what I'm feeling here, it already has changed. Okay, so again, this is representing the past, right? The King of Cups. Looks like things were stirring. It looks like there was some work being done behind the scenes pertaining to their monarchies, right? So I think there's been a lot of infiltration happening. Basically, I would say it's like the Saudi Arabians just infiltrating the Saudi Arabians. This feels like, again, an internal thing that's been happening here. There certainly has been assistance, but it's been very, very internalized. So it looks like the idea of the monarchy is going to be significantly changing. Okay, these idea of kings and princes or queens and princesses aren't going to be running things anymore. The idea of monarchy is now dead. Okay, and it will continue to die out. So it looks like there's been some celebration here. There's already been some very, very big shifts. It just needs to take time to reveal that, right? I don't think that there's still a lot of information about how this has happened, right? There's still some indecisiveness or unwillingness to share exactly what has happened to prevent from any other type of information from being divulged at this time. So it does feel like it's kind of secret right now, right? So Spirit isn't really sharing that with me right now, saying this has to be kind of kept quiet at this particular time, but things have shifted. Things have changed pertaining to that. And it's good just to watch Saudi Arabia and their monarchies over the next few months, and we may start to see some very big significant changes that have already happened. Okay, but they're not really saying exactly what has exactly happened, because it's just not time to reveal that. So yes, there have been changes, but I'm not getting details on what those specific changes have been, other than the idea of certain forms of replacements. Okay, thank you for your question, Marlon. Okay, this one is from Freeman555. Will some people move to 4th density or 5D faster than others? Or can we only move there when CERN activates at the year 2037? When did I say anything about CERN definitely activating in 2037, right? I'm basically saying that CERN, under the control of the counterforces, may assist in that, but CERN does not have the power to fully do that. Okay, it can bump it up a little bit, but it's not about that being the totality of the situation. Okay, everything that happens in regards to upliftment is a natural path. So again, guys, when we look at the idea of planetary ascension, you're looking at something that takes thousands of years. Okay, that's not really what's happening here. Everybody in that sense that's evolving, that's transforming themselves, is doing so because it's in their own nature to do this, right? People are completely revealing to themselves who they are. And like I said, people will remain in bodies. They will still be here. We're not just going to see people immediately just vanish off the face of the earth in that way. I don't feel like that's happening. I was wondering about that in the past, if that actually would happen, if people would actually just start to disappear. But the answer is no. People are in their body here until they're finished, until they're done here. And if they decide to leave, then they can go into another body and they can go into a new earth. But as far as your body here goes, it's going to stay put. But I too was under the feeling of belief in the past. I think people would just disappear. People would probably just disappear. And what I'm getting from Spirit is like, no, that's not what's going to happen. I know there's been some theories about that. I was even cooking in some of those theories myself, but that's not what I'm feeling as I'm looking at it right now. People are here to play out their life as they need to for as long as their body here remains. Once their body remains, they will have options. It's kind of like an analogy that I've given in the past, is that when a person, for example, drops their body, they go back into spirit. It's kind of like they're going back into their own kingdom. And there's a job board. There's a job board right here. And you're seeing these jobs being posted here on this board. Say, oh, okay, well, here's a 4th density body that I could move into New Earth with. Oh, okay, great, I'll take that. And I'll move into that. Okay, so it's kind of like a post-graduation. But you have to finish your work here first. Okay, so your body is here until you're done with the body. Until you're done with what you need to do here. Then when it's time comes to leave the body, then you will go elsewhere. Right? You can go into a new earth. You can go to other planets. You can join spiritual communities that are in other realms and other dimensions. You can go and do anything. You can just go and just be with God. Right? That's the idea. It's not so cut and dry as people think about going into 4D or 5D, and that's exactly where I have to go. And if that's your complete and total belief system, then you'll probably manifest something like that. Okay? But you have to understand that life is not so linear as you make it out to be. Because you've had so many of these new agers talking about 4th density and 5D, and this is like your only choice. You have to go to 4D, and you have to go to 5D, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And guys, that's just a bunch of gunk. Okay? You can certainly go into the astral plane, and you can certainly look into living these other lives if that's what you're completely and totally committed to do. But you gotta finish here first. You're not just gonna vanish into thin air. Your body's not just gonna suddenly disappear. Right? You have to take care of what you need to take care of. 2037, 2038 represents a very powerful shift. Yes, that's the idea of the end of an old era. We are seeing the culmination of prophecy. All the prophecies that have been here for thousands and thousands of years will culminate before that time. So that's the end of prophecy. And there will be a harvest. There will be a shifting taking place. Yes. because we're going to be moving into a whole new age altogether. But the idea in that sense, there may be some people who decide that, okay, maybe before that time I'll leave this body, my time's up, and then I'll go somewhere else, even prior to 2038, maybe on 2038, maybe shortly after 2038, okay? But 2037, 2038 definitely represents the end of an old age and the beginning of something new. The end of prophecy and the culmination of a new harvest, of us moving forward in a very, very positive way, shifting into something that we probably can't even fathom right now, something that is so beautiful. It may be the idea of the beginning times of humanity becoming a cosmic civilization, where we're now start making the means to start moving into the cosmos, to actually becoming interstellar. Okay, that certainly is quite a big possibility. I'm not ever really getting the idea of what happens afterwards, right? 2037, 2038, right? I've talked about 3 days of darkness pertaining to that. That's still being mentioned to me, that there will be a time of 3 days of darkness because there's going to be some shifts taking place magnetically, magnetic polar shifts that are going to be taking place. Okay, we're not looking at a physical pole shift, but we're looking at a magnetic one, and that is looking to happen around 2037, 2038. Okay, but the idea of moving from 4D to 5D, well, basically, as I've talked about, that's happened in 2016. We've already become a fourth density compliant planet, where the idea of our higher Earth is already now completely open to those who want to go there. So if you feel a desire to go there, then when you're finished with this life, you can certainly go there. It can really happen between now and 2038 and beyond. Okay? If that's really what you want to do, then you can make it happen. I've gotten that invitation to go to New Earth if I decide to. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I said I'm going to deal with that stuff when I finish off with this lifetime. I'm going to take care of this lifetime as I need to. And when this body drops dead, then I'll decide exactly what I wish to do at that point. I'm not going to make any preconceived ideas or preconceived notions, because it just won't work. I want to wait until I'm done this life, and then I'll see what's available. Okay, that's really how I would suggest you guys approach it. You're approaching the idea of saying, just let me take care of everything that I need to take care of in this life. And then when the time comes where I leave this body, I know I will have options, and I'll look at them. Okay, that's it. Be aware of your options once you're finished here. It's like you going into this really good career, a career that you really, really love. Oh, what are you going to do after this career is over? I don't know. I just started this career. Why would I think about what I'm going to think about, what I'm going to do next, when I just started this brand new career? I love this career. I want to just enjoy everything that's here. And then when the time comes, when I'm feeling like I'm going to wind down, I'll make that decision when the time comes. There you go. It's the same idea. Take care of what you need to take care of in this life. Be the best you that you can be in this life. And then when that time comes, then you leave the body. Now you have options. That's really how I see it, because you're going to see that there's a lot more to life than fourth density. There's a lot more to life than 5D, right? You can go right up into the causal plane. You can even go beyond the mind, and you can live in these forces of love, in the force of life as well too. You can live inside the soul. There's so much more that you can do rather than what we've been hearing from new agey books. There's so much more to it than that. So I said, keep your options open. Don't look so much into these preconceived notions that are anchoring you down. Like I said, I've gotten invitations to go to New Earth, and it's beautiful, but I'll see. I'll just see what happens once I finish life here. All right. So Freeman, that's what I can share in regards to that question. But like I said, CERN is just may help here and here. But again, it's not the idea of a grand shift comes naturally. It's not something that's artificially induced all the way. Okay? All right. So I think we're going to take one or two more questions, guys. And we're going to wrap up. Here's one from David of Shield. Why does this timeline refuse to evolve and move forward instead of present days, secrets, and lies on top of illusions and deceptions? You're really going to blame that on the timeline, David? You understand that a timeline is a prop, okay? It has no will or desire of its own. It is you as the proprietor. It is you as the experiencer. It is you as the perceiver that is aligning to these timelines, okay? When we're looking at a collective timeline, this is exactly where the collective needs to be. Be at peace with it, okay? You have your own timelines that you can personally explore as well, too. Don't be blaming this on timelines. Okay, this is your doing. So whatever you decide to do, whatever you decide to work through in life is your responsibility. It's no more different than pointing a finger at an external object and saying this is your fault. Okay? We have all come upon this earth because this earth has a story to share with us, right? She is always going to create this grid around us where we have commonality, where we have a human body, where we breathe air, where we eat food, where we drink water, right? Where we interact with each other, where humanity is a social culture, where we have this particular type of modernized systems. This is all part of an establishment of a collective. And you have come into this grid because you have agreed, yes, you have agreed to come here and be part of this life. And now you can explore many wonderful possibilities that exist through the grid of this life. But this particular life has a creator to it, okay? And we are basically playing like dream weavers inside this creator's dream. Truly, that creator represents us. But again, it is a fixated aspect of realm. It's a plane, it's a realm. As it's a plane, as it's realm, it has certain rules that you have to follow. It's no more different, guys, than turning on a video game and playing a massive multiplayer online role-playing game. That's how it works. There's programming. There's a grid. Okay, there's functionality. There's rules. There's all these different things you have to follow as a player. But as you continue to play this, you're learning a lot about yourself. But again, we are existing in that plane to where all of these things are established. And so we need to go through these planes. But like I said, we have the ability to shift in things. Look at me, guys. I started off many years ago, very much overly logical, having to appease everybody, having to make sure everybody else was happy while I was miserable. And I was able to shift out of that. Now, if for any moment was I pointing at a timeline saying this is all your fault, okay, that would be me being ignorant. It's not about a timeline doing this to you, because that is you being completely disempowered and thinking that the mind has a grasp on you, when that's not what I'm teaching you guys. I'm teaching you guys to be sovereign. I'm teaching you guys to be the supreme and to live in the non-dual. And when you live in the non-dual, the mind is at the bottom and it serves you. And as the mind serves you, this is how you're able to bring about incredible, profound miracles into your life. You see all these incredible things happening because you're at peace with life. You're at peace with the earth. You're at peace with its people. You're at peace with the creatures here. You're at peace with the events that are taking place here. Because you're looking back at all these things and saying, why am I reacting to these things? Oh, because I want to control a bunch of stuff. I want to control how a person looks at me. I want to control how a group looks at me. I want to control how this earth looks. I want to control this. I want to control that. I want to control this. And I want approval for people. I want people praising me like I'm a king or a queen. I want approval. I want praise. I want control. Maybe I need to depend on some people as well too. I want to have dependency on people so I can rely on them, so I can trust them, so they can get me out of things. And I have lusts as well too. I have these lusts and I want to get into that. I want to get into that. I want to get into that. And these are all traumas. These are all habitual patterns of survival. So pointing your finger and looking at a timeline saying, it's all your fault. It's your fault, timeline. You did this to me. Is you being a victim of the mind. So it's not about that. When you learn to live in the non-dual, you realize that everything is you. And you realize that this is all part of a grid. This is all part of a plane, because the earth really is just a realm. That's all it is. It has certain set rules. It has certain set properties to it, and it is at creator level to which these particular rules are established. They cannot be broken because they honor the natural laws, and you can't break the natural laws. You can go against them, but as soon as you go against them, this is where we have, as you would say, karmic rebound. And again, we start getting hit by all this karmic debris because we are going against the natural laws. You can't break them, but you can go against them. And when you go against them, this is where you go through misery. When you go against the natural laws, that's how you experience the illusion of duality. When you go with the natural laws and you're in harmony with them, you're in the non-dual. Those natural laws can never be bypassed. I don't care if every single soul in all of creation got together and said, let's have one thought and let's break all the natural laws down. They could do that and it still wouldn't break it. Okay? This is why I say that the natural laws are supreme. They can never be broken. No power of any thought could break or shatter those natural laws. It's not possible. Okay? So rather than trying to break and trying to think, here I am on the earth plane, boy, I'm going to dominate this planet, boy, I'm going to take care of all this stuff, I'm going to dominate. Look at what happened with the Dark Cabal that was trying to do that. Where did that get them? Where do you think it's going to get you? It's not going to get you anywhere. So this is where you need to drop these ideas of thinking that the mind has some hold on you, because that's you going against the flow of the natural law. That's you kinking the hose. And you can only kink that hose for so long before it just bursts right out of your hands. And now you got to face the stream of that intensity that comes out of that hose. You basically have to ride that intensity, and you have to clean yourself up. So this is what I'm telling you. It's very important that you guys are living in the non-dual. I'm not telling you guys to be Taoists. I'm not telling you guys to be Advaita Vedantins. I'm telling you guys to have a natural familiarity of the natural laws. Because when you're in harmony with the natural laws, you are moving together in the non-dual. You realize that the mind itself works for me. The body works for me. Everything works for me. And I move together in a delightful harmony with all things. I don't keep thinking about how something is screwing me over, or how it's somebody's fault, or how it's a timeline's fault. Right? That's something we have to get out of. Okay? So David, that's something I'd really like you to reflect on. You got to get out of this mind stuff. You got to get out of this duality stuff. The non-dual is the way. And when you live in the non-dual, you're completely at peace from within, and you're integrating everything outwardly. You are learning to be yourself, because awareness is aware and completely and totally accepting and surrendering to all. That's how you know that you are the self. Okay? Thank you, everybody, for all of your questions today. I really appreciate it. Thank you again for joining me for healing and for the meditation today. So again, for those of you who are tuning in right now, go back to the video. You can check out the group meditation or the group healing as well, too, and get a healing through the group healing also. So I want to thank you again. I'll be back next Friday for another episode of New Earth TV Live. And again, this Sunday will be the next episode of the Infinite Intelligence Report. So thank you again, guys. Om Shanti, 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 Namaskar, and may it be well with you. Goodbye for now. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.